The warning arrived in the middle of a quiet galactic night. A weak distress signal, almost too broken to understand, flickered through the deep void. Most species ignored it instantly. Some pretended they never heard it. Others erased it from their systems. No one wanted the trouble. No one wanted the risk. But one ship, one crew, paused. The human exploration vessel Helios. 7 picked up the signal, while passing the rim sector. Captain Mara Ellen stared at the broken message on her screen. A trembling alien voice repeated the same words again and again. "Please, anyone, we are dying. Our world is burning." Her crew looked at each other. They all knew the truth. This was a trap zone. No ship returned from the rim sector. Every species feared it. Even the strongest empires refused to send help. But the humans were different. Mara stood from her chair slowly. "We can't ignore this," she said. Her voice was calm, but everyone felt the storm behind her words. Lieutenant Rowe shook his head. "Captain, every species abandoned these people for a reason. If we go there, we might not come back." Mara didn't blink. "If they're still alive, their last hope is us." A cold silence filled the bridge. Outside the window, stars drifted past like ancient watchers. The Helios, 7 engines hummed, waiting for a decision. No orders came from the Galactic Council. No empire volunteered support. No one even sent a warning. Humanity stood alone. Mara finally gave the command. "Set course for the distress signal. Maximum speed." Alarms echoed across the ship as the crew prepared for a mission no one expected to survive. The galaxy had abandoned a dying species. But humanity refused to leave them to die. The Helios, 7 dropped out of faster-than-light travel above a dying world. Flames covered entire continents. Thick black smoke rose into space like broken towers. Oceans boiled at the edges. The planet looked less like a home and more like a battlefield that had already lost. Lieutenant Rowe whispered, "If anyone is alive down there, it's a miracle." Captain Mara stared at the wreckage. "Miracle or not, we're going." Human scanners swept the surface. At first they found nothing but destruction. Collapsed cities, shattered mountains, glowing craters. Then, deep beneath the smoke, a small cluster of heat signatures appeared. Weak, almost fading. Survivors. The bridge fell silent. Every other species had seen the same data, but none had moved. The risk was too great. The unknown enemy that caused this? Still out there. Still watching. But humans had already made their choice. A shuttle team prepared for descent. Commander Hale, tall and calm, led the ground squad. He secured his helmet and checked his weapons, but Mara stopped him. "No unnecessary force," she said. "We're here to save them, not frighten them." Hale nodded. "Understood." The shuttle launched into the burning atmosphere. Fire danced across the windows as they dropped lower and lower. The ground shook from distant explosions. Strange shadows moved under the smoke, too big, too fast. "Command, are you seeing this?" Hale asked. Static answered him. The deeper they went, the worse the silence became. No enemy signals. No clear threat. Just destruction so complete that it felt unnatural, almost impossible. Finally, the shuttle landed near a collapsed alien shelter. Hale and his team rushed inside. There, huddled in the darkness, they found them. A terrified alien family, trembling, injured, starving, staring up at the humans like they were ghosts sent from the stars. Their first words shook Hale. Why did you come?" Everyone else ran. Commander Hale knelt in front of the trembling alien family. Their skin was pale from fear and hunger, their eyes wide and hopeless. He lowered his weapon and spoke softly. "Relax, we're here to help." But the smallest alien shook its head violently. No. Helping us is death. Leave now, please." Hale felt a cold pressure in his chest. Something about the way they said it. Something broken, something terrified. The mother raised a shaking hand and pointed toward the burning horizon outside. "They are still here." The team froze. Before Hale could ask who they were, the ground vibrated. A deep rumble spread through the ruins, like something enormous was dragging across the surface. Private Lennox whispered, Commander, that didn't sound natural. The scanners beeped loudly. Unknown signatures. Fast. Aggressive. Surrounding the area. Hale tapped his comm. Helios, 7, we need extraction. Static answered again. Captain Mara's voice didn't come through. Communication was completely dead. The aliens huddled closer. You must go. You must go. They don't want survivors. They don't want witnesses. Hale took a deep breath and stood tall. We don't leave people behind. Not on our planet. Not on yours. Behind him, his team formed a defensive circle around the survivors. Shadows moved through the thick smoke outside. Huge shapes crawling, circling, hunting. The youngest alien tugged Hale's glove. Why humans? He whispered. Why only you? Hale looked at the child with calm, steady eyes. Because we don't abandon people, he said. Not even strangers. Suddenly, a piercing screech cut through the sky. A massive silhouette burst through the flames, tall, armored, and clearly not from any known species. Lennox stepped back. Commander, what is that? Hale stared at the creature as it raised its head and roared. Something the galaxy was too afraid to face, he said. But we're not. The creature stepped fully into view, illuminated by the burning sky. Its body was covered in jagged armor plates, shaped like natural weapons. 6 limbs dug into the ground with metallic scrape, and glowing red eyes burned through the smoke. Commander Hale steadied his rifle. That's not a species, that's a weapon. As if responding to the sound of his voice, 2 more creatures emerged behind the first. Their steps shook the ruins. The alien family cried out and clung to each other. They came from the sky, the mother whispered. They destroyed our world in one night. Hale swallowed hard. So this wasn't war, it was extermination. Private Lennox aimed his weapon. Commander, permission to fire? Hold, Hale ordered. We don't know what they're capable of. The creatures lowered their heads, sniffing the air. They weren't just looking for prey. They were hunting survivors. The galaxy's rule was simple. If something could wipe out an entire planet alone, no one interfered. No one except humans. Suddenly, the lead creature screeched, a sharp metallic howl that echoed across the ruins. It charged with thunderous speed. Move! Hale shouted. The team opened fire, bullets cracking through the smoke. Sparks exploded as rounds hit the creature's armored hide. It barely slowed down. Hale grabbed the alien child and rolled behind a fallen structure as the beast smashed into the ground where they stood seconds earlier. Dust and debris shot into the air. Helios 7, we need support. Hale shouted into his comm. Only silence answered. The creature rose again, angrier, its glowing eyes fixing on Hale. The mother cried out, You should have left us. You should have run like the others. Hale stood in front of them, ready to fight. We're not the others, he said, raising his weapon. And we don't run. The creature lunged again, faster this time, too fast for something so massive. Hale barely pushed the alien family aside before its bladed limbs smashed into the ground, splitting the concrete floor like paper. Private Lennox fired a burst straight into its exposed joint. Sparks exploded. The creature roared and twisted, but this time it staggered. Hale didn't hesitate. Focus fire on the weak spots. The human squad shifted instantly, years of training collapsing into a single perfect moment of teamwork. Bullets tore into the creature's joints and vents. Its armor cracked. Its movement slowed. But then the ground trembled again. 2 more creatures crawled over the ruins, their claws slicing through broken walls like wet sand. Hale cursed under his breath. They're grouping. They want to corner us. The alien mother sobbed. Please, you can't win. They wiped out armies. Hale placed a steady hand on her shoulder. That's the difference. We're not an army. We're humans. Above them, the air rippled. A massive shadow cut across the burning sky. Commander Hale's eyes widened. Is that? A deep, familiar hum echoed through the ruins. The Helios 7 was descending. Captain Mara had overridden every safety protocol, pushing her ship dangerously low into the atmosphere. Flames danced across its hull. Engines screamed under impossible stress. Commander Hale, her voice finally cracked through the static. Prepare your team for evac. We're coming in hot." The creatures shrieked and charged together, furious that their prey might escape. Hale lifted the alien child into his arms. Everyone moved to extraction point Delta. The squad ran through the rubble, firing as they moved. The creatures closed in, their roar shaking the shattered buildings. The Helios 7's landing ramp extended. Mara shouted over comms, "Run, Hale, run." Hale didn't look back. He just whispered to the child in his arms, "You're going home." The Helios 7 hovered dangerously close to collapse. Its engine shook under the heat, sparks bursting from the vents as the landing ramp extended through the burning air. Commander Hale sprinted across the rubble with the alien child in his arms. His team ran behind him, supporting the injured mother and father. The creatures were only seconds away, screeching hungry, unstoppable. Captain Mara shouted through the comms, "Hale, move! We can't hold this position." One creature leaped from the ruins, claws outstretched. Hale turned, firing a full magazine into its open joints. Lennox dove forward, tackling Hale aside as the beast crashed on the ground where they stood. Its roar shook the earth. Another creature climbed onto a broken tower, preparing to pounce. The Helios 7 reacted first. A focused plasma beam fired from its underbelly cannons, striking the tower and vaporizing the beast in a blinding flash. Debris rained down, but the ship held position. "Everyone on board, now," Mara commanded. The squad rushed up the ramp. Hale handed the alien child to a medic, then turned back. One more creature charged straight at him. For a moment, he thought he wouldn't make it. But Lennox and 2 other soldiers grabbed him and pulled him inside as the ramp closed. The creature slammed into the metal door with a deafening crash. Engines roared. The Helios 7 blasted upward, tearing through smoke and flame, leaving the dying planet behind. The creature's screams faded into the distance. Inside the ship, the alien mother clutched her child and stared at Hale with trembling eyes. "Why?" she whispered. "Why would you save us when everyone else left?" Hale breathed deeply, blood on his armor but hope in his voice. "Because that's who we are." And as the ship jumped to safety, the survivors realized something the galaxy had forgotten. Humanity didn't run from danger. Humanity ran toward those who needed them. The galaxy would never forget this rescue.